Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthai Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswata Devim Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanukavara Stale Stale Yasya Kripa Prapabhi Krishnanya Trishna Jana Samhitanam Nirmulitayeva bhavanti tasmai namo namah Srila Narottamaya. Ayinanda tanuja kenkaram patitamam vishame bhavam buddha. Kripaya tava pada pankajastita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Nayanam galadash rudharaya vadanam gadgadaruddhaya gira. Pulakair nichitair vapukada tavanam grihani pash. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatam aham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Devi. Tadhapi kirtayami anga yadamatim yadashritam kirtim harim swam satkartum giram anyabhidasati. Stitir seva gatir yatra smatir chinta stutir vacha bhuyat sarvat manav vishnu maityam tvaicheshtita. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktakyam Bhaktavataram Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. I would like to recite these prayers to three deities in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mama Mandamater Gatim Matsarvaswapadam Bhojao Radha Madana Mohanam. Shri Shri Radha Madana Mohan Ki Jaya. Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadaha Shrimat Ratnagara Simhasanastau Shrimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prishtalibhi Sevyamano Smarami. Shri Radha Govinda Deva Ki Jaya. Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamshi Vatatatastitaha Karshan Venu Swanair Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha. Shri Shri Radha Gopinatha Ki Jaya. And our prayer during this Chaitanya Pravaha, as our external services continue, we pray that our internal bhajan is also started and will continue with the mercy of Shri Guru and Gauranga. Yes, dear devotees. So, Shri Chaitanya Pravaha, what we have heard so far is Shri Chaitanya Katha. Yeah. What is the significance of Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya's Gaur Katha? And then where is this Chaitanya Katha available and how did this Chaitanya Charitamrita come to us? And after that, the Palastuti of Chaitanya Charitamrita. After that, we enter into Chaitanya Pravaha, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it has Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. In Adi Lila, we heard about the Mangalacharana. And in the Mangalacharana, we have covered all the tattvas, right? Vande Gurun, Isha Bhaktan, Ishan, Ishavatarkam, and Shakti, Ishan, Ishavatarkam, and Avatara and Swarupakam, and also Shakti. In this way, we have covered the whole Panchatattva, right? 6 aspects of the absolute truth and how they're presenting as the Panchatattva. All of that we have heard. So with that, the whole Tattva aspect, we heard the Tattva aspect and we understood that. Now comes all the pastimes. So in Adilila, we heard Tattva, and in the pastimes are starting from the appearance of Lord Chaitanya till the sannyasa, taking up sannyasa. That's Adilila. In the Madhya Lila and Anta Lila, the Tattva will come, but during Samvada. Raya Ramananda, Prakashananda Saraswati, like that. So here and there. But the major chunk of it, and difficult to swallow chunk of it, is all over now. So that's what we have heard so far, all the Tattva. And today it's about the pastimes. And Adilila, the pastimes in Adilila, as we have just, actually the pastimes of the Lord, how are they divided? Balya or Kaumara, both of them are interchangeable. Balya and Pauganda, Balya Lila, Pauganda Lila, Kaishora Lila, and Yavana, 4 stages. Balya is those pastimes from the appearance, from the birth till 5 years old. And then Pauganda is from 6 years to 10 years. Kaishora is 11 years to 15 years. And Yavana is from 16 years on. Okay, so those are the different ages. Okay, so in Adilila, all these pastimes are described. All these 4 stages. And after taking sannyasa, 16 years, 24 years, at the age of 24, the Lord takes sannyasa and goes to Jagannath Puri. So I can actually take to the slide directly. So you will have some visual anchor and then we can enter into the pastimes, dear devotees. The pastimes of the Lord. I'll let you see the slides too, so you'll have a feeling of that we have covered all this. Yeah. So all these we have covered. Now we are coming to the pastimes. Tulasi Dalamatrena Jalasya Chuluke. Today will be the last session of Adilila, Advaitacharya. So, ocean of slides. And today, the slides that we are going to use, they are pretty much good. We can go through all the slides. So, the advent of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here, we have already described the 4 stages. And also Adilila. Adilila is from appearance till taking up the sannyasa up until 24 years. The rest of it is called as Seshalila, from 24 to 48. So in that Seshalila is divided into Madhya Lila and Antya Lila. 6 years Madhya Lila and then Antya Lila. Yeah, South Indian tour yatra is Madhya Lila. The rest of it in Jagannath Puri is Antya Lila. So that we know. Now going directly to the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. Lord Chaitanya, before he appeared, like Lord Krishna, before we hear the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will do the pranam mantra as Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur did here. Saprasidatav Chaitanya Devo Yasya Prasadataha Tallila Varnane Yogya Sadyasyad Adhamo Apiyam. Even though I am Adama, it's only because of Lord Chaitanya's grace that he is allowing us, allowing me to describe the pastimes. That's Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Now, before describing the past appearance of Lord Chaitanya, what happens, dear devotees? When the Lord chooses to appear, when the president decides to show up somewhere, does president directly come and knock, knock, knock on the door? He doesn't do that. His people will come first, make everything ready, set up everything, and then the president comes. Like that, when the Lord has to make his appearance, his elders, they will come first in the form of mother, father, and other associates, and then the Lord comes. In the same way, before Lord Chaitanya appeared, Vishwarupa, first of all, Jagannath Mishra, Sachi Devi, and Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakura, all of them appeared. After that, Vishwarupa, his older brother Vishwarupa appeared. He's also considered Balarama. Like that, all of them appeared. Now, it's time for Gaurachandra to appear. So, and what was the external reason for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Tulasi Dalamatrena Jalasya Chulukenava. Krishna Avatari Karena Bhakatira Vistara Tabete Sakala Lokera Hai Benistara. Advaita Acharya is calling out, "Oh Lord, please make your appearance. Please make your appearance." And that's the time of Falguna, month of Falguna, full moon. Full moon in the night, but on that day was lunar eclipse. And because it's eclipse time, just when Rahu was starting to swallow the Chandra, Akalanka Gaura Chandra Dila Darshana Sakalanka Chandrare Kona Prayojana. When Gaurachandra, Akalanka Gaurachandra, this Gaurachandra with no kalanka, no stains. When this Gaurachandra is giving his appearance, and this moon, Sakalanka, the moon with all these marks on his face, what is the need of this moon who has so many marks on his face when this moon, Gaurachandra, is making his appearance? And since it is lunar eclipse, the Rahu is following the moon. What is everybody doing? Jagata bhariya loka bale, Jagata bhariya loka bale, Hari Hari, Se ikshane Gaura Krishna bhume avatari. Everybody, because it is a lunar eclipse, it is considered very auspicious. Everybody is calling out the names of the Lord. Hari, Hari, Krishna, everywhere. So when everybody is chanting the auspicious names of the Lord like that, that's when Gaurachandra made his appearance. That was the auspicious descent of Gaurahari. And after Gaurahari, Nimai, he was born on the he was born under the tree, neem tree, so he was called as Nimai. He was called as Nimai. And after Nimai was born, everybody from everywhere, wife of Advaita Charyam, Srivas Thakura, and all the elders there, the mothers everywhere, they were bringing all these gifts for this newborn baby. That is in Bhuloka. And the celestial beings also, they were coming and having darshan of Chaitanya Chandra, very similar to the appearance, birth of Lord Sri Krishna. So, and then in this way, Lord Gaurahari was very well received and all the gifts were given to him. And one day, what happened was, this little, our Lord, yeah, little Nimai, right now he's little Nimai, he was crawling around, and then he made his way to the backyard. Actually, his mother, that is Sachi Mata, she gave some food, some prasadam to eat, but little Nimai started eating dirt. And dear devotees, this is all Balya Lila. It means before 5 years. And this is after birth. So probably crawling around or maybe walking around past 1 year. So somewhere between 1 to 2 years like that, this pastime. So he was eating dirt. And Sachimata comes there. And then she says, Nimai, why are you eating this dirt? Huh? And then Nimai goes, Ma, you gave me food to eat. The food and the dirt are the same. The food grains have to come from the earth, and I'm directly eating the earth. Wow. Can't imagine 2-year-old at the most speaking like that, but he did say that. Then Sachimata said, little Nimai, I hear your logic, but let me tell you something. When you eat food, it nourishes your body. But when you eat mud, it doesn't nourish your body. So food and the earth, the mud, cannot be same, though food comes from the mud. So if I want to get water in the water pot, then the earth has to be in the form of a pot for me to get the water. I cannot just pour some water on the earth and bring the water. So you should eat food only, not the mud, says Sachimata. And little Nimai says, "Wow, wonderful, Mama. Why did you hide this practical philosophy from me so far?" Again, can't imagine 2-year-old speaking like that, but he did say that, little Nimai. Why did you hide this practical philosophy from me? This makes so much sense. Okay, Mama, I will eat food. I will drink your milk. I'll eat food, says little Nimai. And that's one thing, dear devotees. Vedanta, impersonal philosophy. Oh, word jugglery. Good to hear. Books and books and classes and classes. Say the impersonalists, they speak that this all world is just mithya, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, right? Okay, if the world is false, and if you are false, yeah, and if you're just Brahman only, and if your body is false, your hunger is also false. So why do you eat food when you are hungry? Why do you want to eat illusion? Huh? Everything is illusion, right? So body is illusion, food is illusion. Then why do you want to eat food for your body when you are hungry? So that's not practical, the impersonal philosophy thing. When we come to the bhakti, then we say straight, yes, this body is temporary. This world is Krishna's. Yes, this hunger is real. That's why I have to eat. But I don't want to get karma. That's why I offer the food to Krishna and then take prasadam. Perfect. Makes complete sense, completely practical. That's the difference between the impersonal and the personal form of worship to the Lord. So that's little Nimai. And after that, I want to say something, dear devotees. These Leelas, before we hear the Leelas, we have to hear the appearance of the Lord, then all his Leelas, they are pastimes. It means the Lord is not impelled to take birth or to come in front of us. He's not impelled. He chooses to. And he doesn't have to crawl on the ground. He doesn't have to eat mud, or he doesn't have to eat food also. But he chooses to do. So when he's choosing to do, those are pastimes. Karma is not impelling on him. Time is not impelling him. So that's why all the activities of the Lord are called Leelas, because he chose to do them. But the activities of the Jiva are called karmas, because we are forced to do them. So though all the Leelas of the Lord, Krishna Leela or Chaitanya Leela, especially this Balya Leela, though they look like Nara Leelas, Leela of a Manushya, mortal being, they only look like that. But Janma Karma Chame Divyam, Yomam Vetti Tattvataha. They have to be understood in Tattva. That we have to remember. Yeah? That's one thing. So like that, a little Nimai is actually, I have to mention, even before the Nimai was born, Sachi Mata, Jagannath Mishra, he had a dream that the Supreme Lord in his heart is being transferred to the heart of Sachi Mata, very exactly like Vasudeva and Devaki, like that. And after that, when they started worshipping Shalagram Shila, that's how Sachi Mata was pregnant with Nimai. And up until 12 months, there was no signs of delivery. They were getting worried. Then Nilambar Chakravarti comes and sees the Jyotisha, and he says, oh, the Lord is waiting for a fortunate, no, this child is waiting for a fortunate moment to appear like that. So all that happened before the appearance of the Lord. And of course, he appeared, and everybody was welcoming him with the chants of Hari Hari. And now he's starting to, trying to eat mud. And Mother Sachi enlightened Nimai about the practical bhakti, the practical philosophy, which is bhakti. Yeah. So that little Nimai walking around, tried to eat mud. And one day, as Mother Sachi, when she was feeding the baby, she saw these marks on the sole, on the sole of little Nimai. And she went to little Nimai, and she recalls that she saw these footmarks, these footprints in her house too. And then she also recalls that she was hearing some voices, some divine celestial music, all these things. So she was trying to put all these together. And then she goes to her husband, Jagannath Mishra, and says, I hear all these things and I see these footprints also. Maybe there is more to our child. Can we look a little more into this? And then Jagannath Mishra calls Nilambar Chakravarti, and then after examining, Nilambar Chakravarti says, this son has 32 bodily marks of Narayana. It means he's going to be a Mahapurusha, and he's going to deliver 3 worlds, says Nilambar Chakravarti. And a name giving ceremony was given, and he's named Vishwambhara. Vishwambhara means maintainer. But Gaurahari, he maintains the world with love of Godhead. So his name was Vishwambhara. Okay. Vishwambhara. Now Vishwambhara, he's growing. He's still called Nimai, though his name is Vishwambhara. So he's growing now. And we heard these pastimes. There are quite many pastimes here. So most of the pastimes, we will just enumerate, just touch them and move on. we will just take 2 or 3 pastimes for a little elaboration, but rest of them will just touch base and then move. Just enumerating only. Yeah. So the Brahmana, once a Brahmana comes to little Nimai's house, and the Brahmins, we cook bhoga to the Lord, offer, and we take prasad. That's what Brahmana was trying to do it. One time he cooked and offered bhoga. Little Nimai, he just came from somewhere and he ate the bhoga. Brahmana repeated it twice. Nimai did the same thing. Third time, there was a full alert at house. Everybody was keeping an eye on Nimai so he doesn't go and eat bhoga. But third time also same thing happened. And then Nimai showed his real form as baby Krishna to this Brahmana. So that was the pastime. And also, he pretended to be sick when he was small. And he asked, can you believe, dear devotees? He was sick. He goes, Ma, I know I'm sick, but I want some rice from Hiranya and Jagadisha. Only when I eat rice from those two people, then my sickness will go away. That's one of the pastime. Hiranya, Jagadisha, I want food, prasadam from their place. Okay, that was one pastime. And the other one was, there were 2 thieves. Nimai, again, he was ornamented. All the jewels were on him. Sachimata decorated him with gold, ornaments, everything. And of course, the thieves wanted to steal them. So they decided to kidnap little Nimai. They didn't know who they were kidnapping. It is their fortune that they got this little Nimai on their shoulders. We know what happened. Nimai tricked them. These thieves, they were walking and walking and walking and walking and sweating and walking and sweating and walking. They were thinking, oh, we have gone far from Nadia. Then now we can bring this boy down and then steal all these ornaments from him. So after walking and walking and walking and walking and sweating and sweating and sweating and sweating, they put the boy down, little Nimai down. And then they looked around. They looked around to see that they were in the same place. In other words, they walked and walked and walked, but little Nimai tricked them and brought them to his home. So in this way, he tricked them, and of course, his ornaments didn't get stolen. They were bewildered. And they were bewildered and they ran away. They didn't know what was happening with them. They didn't know who they were carrying. The greatest magician. They were carrying the greatest magician on their shoulders. So that was about the Brahmanas. Okay. And the other one was, the older village girls. They were, in those days, they go to the pond and they take shower. So this is little Nimai. He went there, and these girls, they, for Devi, they used to get all the paraphernalia and offer it to Devi for good husbands. It looks like that was the custom in those days. Not anymore now. So Nimai, his little Nimai, went there and he used to steal all those, the fruits, flowers, whatever were bought for the worship. He used to eat all of them. Sandalwood pulp, everything, he used to smear on him. And these girls, they used to say, little Nimai, see, in village relationship, we are like older sisters for you. Do you do that? You should be disciplined. A little brother cannot do this to the sisters. And he goes, yeah, you are right, but if you please your little brother, you know what I'm going to give you? The boon that you will get a very handsome husband and you will have bunch of sons. And they used to ask for many sons in those days, I guess. So, so if you let me take all that you have brought here for puja, then I will give you boon like that. If you don't let me take what you brought, then I will curse you all, that you get old husband, all that. So that's in the village. And just then, before the end of this Balya Lila, just before 5 years, little Nimai, here in the picture we see grown-up personalities here, Gaurahari and Lakshmi Priya, but this is Balya Lila, still before 5 years. Little Nimai saw little girl, Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Priya. They are eternal consorts. So they recognized each other. There was a natural attraction that happened between them. So that was the first time they met each other. That was in Balya Leela. By this time, he's 5 years and he's put in the primary school. So, Pauganda Leela, from 6 years on, little Nimai is in primary school, learning Vyakarana, Sanskrit grammar. Again, here in this image, the grown-up personalities are depicted, but this is Pauganda only. It means this is below 10 years, 6 to 10 years. So, dear devotees, 6 years, yeah, little Nimai, he's not so little Nimai anymore. He's Nimai now, 6 years. And he is learning grammar, Vyakarana, just one time hearing, and that's it. He learned all the grammar. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, how beautifully he offers the prayer. Kumanaha sumanastvam, kumanaha sumanastvam hi yati yasya padabchayom. Sumano arpana matrena tam chaitanya prabhum bhaje. I am doing the bhajan, I am worshipping Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, who makes all kumana to sumana when they yati yasya padabjayo, when they take shelter of his lotus feet. So I bow down to Chaitanya Prabhu, who makes all kumana, twisted mentalities, to sumana, very sweet mentalities, sweet people, just by taking shelter of his lotus feet. To this Chaitanya Prabhu, I bow down. How beautiful, right? Kumana to Sumana, just by taking shelter of the lotus feet of Gaurachandra. Simple. No yajna, no tapas, no vidya. Nothing needed. Very powerful, huh? So, yeah. So, going down to that, Lord Chaitanya. Okay, now, continuing with the Lila, Pauganda Lila, Nimai is learning Vyakarana. He has perfected the Vyakarana, excellent in studies, and he was defeating everybody wherever he goes. Though he was defeating everybody, nobody is angry with him. Why? Because his ways of defeating are also very sweet. We will see that when it comes to Keshava Kashmiri. How sweetly he defeats and he steals. He wins over the hearts. So yeah, he was defeating everybody in the logic, in the Nyaya, in the Shastra, and he was also winning their hearts. So in this way, Nimai is studying. Studying is going on. And meanwhile, Vishwarupa, he takes sannyasa. Older brother takes sannyasa. He leaves home. Hearing that his parents wanted to get him married Vishwarupa hears that and he decides to leave home. So he takes sannyasa. And the parents, our Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra, they were very sad that Vishwarupa has left home, that he has taken sannyasa. Then Nimai says, Bhala Haila Vishwarupa Sannyasa Karila Pitrukula Matrukula Dui Uddharila. Ma, I don't know, in Bengal, Ma, Papa. No, please don't feel sad. Yeah, by taking sannyasa, Vishwarupa, he has delivered all the families from the maternal side and the paternal side too. So that's something to celebrate, that he has taken sannyasa, says Nimai. And then after that, after a few days, it is said that he eats betel nut. Nimai eats betel nut. Betel nut it's like an intoxicant. That's one of the reasons why we are prohibited to take betel nuts, tea, coffee, betel nuts, because that's an intoxicant. So after eating betel nut, Nimai, he fell unconscious, and there, after coming back to his conscious, he tells his parents, you know what? In my dream, I saw Vishwarupa. He said, you also come. Nimai, come. You also take sannyas and come with me. But I said, no, no, no. I have to be with the parents. So I told him that I will not take sannyas and I will be with you. So I will be with you. And then the parents were happy. This is something to console the parents, because Vishwarupa took sannyas and the parents were worried that he would also take sannyas. So Gaurahari, he knew the fears of the parents. So that's why he spoke like that. After some days, what happens? Jagannath Mishra, he ends his pastimes here. He leaves his body. Mother Sachi weeps a lot, heartbroken. And then Nimai, he's close to 10 years now, almost at the end of Pauganda Lila. And he says, Ma, I'm there for you. I will take care of you. I will be with you. He was taking care of his mother. And he's getting to 10 years. And then Nimai thought, it looks like I'm in Grihastha life now. I am finished with my education. My brahmacharya is over. I haven't taken up sannyasa yet. So I'm in Grihastha life. What is the point of being in a Grihastha life without having a Grihini? Grihini is wife. So according to the custom, I should get a wife now. So Nimai was thinking like that. And he made, so his desire was known to the marriage maker in that village. And he makes the marriage between the Lakshmi Devi and Nimai, who is Narayana. Remember Lakshmi Devi, who little Nimai saw in his Balya Lila? Now in the Pauganda Lila, they get married. So in this way, in Pauganda Lila, we saw that Nimai had his education, and Vishwarupa took sannyasa, and Jagannath Mishra left his body, and Nimai got married to Lakshmi Priya. There ends Pauganda Lila. Now comes Kaishora Lila. Kaishora Lila is from 11 years on. Dear devotees, by this time, he has become a Pandit. His education is over now by 10 years. From 11 years on, now he's teaching grammar, teaching Sanskrit. Sanskrit has Vedangas, 6 angas. Siksha, Nirukti, Chandas, Vyakarana, Jyotish, and the rituals. These are the 6 angas of Sanskrit, Vedangas, 6 angas of Veda. So if when somebody has to learn Sanskrit, so these are the angas that they have to know. To give a little idea of what this means is, see, for us to learn a language, say English, alphabets first, yeah, A, B, C, D, like that. So same thing in Sanskrit, they are called phonetics, that is Siksha. It's more like learning like that, phonetics. And when this phonetics, when they are learned, you see the etymology of the word, yeah, when these words are, letters are uttered, that is called nirukta, etymology. Yeah, like guru, and that word gu, the etymology of the word gu, it signifies that it is heavy, like that. The word derivation of the word giving certain meaning, that is called etymology. That's nirukta. Okay, and when these words are put together, when the words have to be put together like a sentence, we need grammar there to combine the words. So that grammar is called vyakarana. Now that the sentence is ready, in Sanskrit, everything can be sung with a meter. So the rules of singing with a particular tune, that is chandas. So like that, the 4 of them. And Jyotisha and Kalpa. Jyotisha is the knowledge of the celestial bodies and its effect on the beings on the earth. That studies Jyotisha. And Kalpa are the rituals that are needed when a sacrifice or a yajna is done. So these are the basics for anybody who wants to learn Sanskrit. So all that was done, but especially our Nimai, he has mastered the Vyakarana. He was teaching Vyakarana. So now in this Kaishwara Lila, the famous Keshava Kashmiri, this is the Lila. So one day, Nimai was sitting with his students in the bank of Ganges. There walked Keshava Kashmiri, the world famous Digvijay Keshava Kashmiri. And Nimai looked at him. He offered his respects with great awe and reverence. Oh, here comes Digvijay Keshava Kashmiri. Yes, yes, please accept our respects. You are so very well known. So that's what Nimai says. But again, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, before explaining the Leelas, I think we see that for each Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is offering prayers to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll offer the prayer and then we'll enter into the Kaishwara Leela. Krupa Sudha Saridiyasya Vishvam Aplavayanti Api Nicha Gaiva Sada Bhati Tam Chaitanya Prabhum Bhajem. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Krupa Sudha Saridiyasya Chaitanya Prabhu Tam, you are Krupa Sudha, mercy, nectar, so nectarian mercy, Saridiyasya. So you are like a river of nectarian mercy flowing, Vishwam Aplavantiyata, to inundate the whole world. So river of nectarian mercy flowing to inundate the whole world. And your special mercy is that Nicha Gaiva Sada Bhati. As a river flows down slope, wherever the slope is, the water flows down, it doesn't flow up like that. O Chaitanya Prabhu, your mercy flows to those people who are low, who are fallen. In other words, this is how I am receiving your mercy, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, and I offer my respects to you, says Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And then he starts the Kaishwara Lila. In the Kaishwara Lila, as we just heard, he was teaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was teaching. Yeah. So he was teaching grammar. And on the bank of Ganges, he was teaching grammar. This teaching the grammar. Yeah, he teaches grammar everywhere on the bank of Ganges. But the Keshav Kashmiri, he appears a little later. But before that, what happens is, as he entered in the Pauganda Lila, here, Pauganda Lila, by this time, you see, dear devotees, the curly black hair, Gaurahari, he still has that. And he's a grihastha now. And he wore silk garments, fragrant garlands, and he smeared sandalwood pulp. This is Gaurahari in Navadvipa. This is Kaishwara Lila, right? 11 years on. So this is how he finished his schooling, he started teaching. But now that he's a grihastha, he's married, he needs to secure some finances. Yeah. Well, the Lord, does he really need to secure the finances? But on the pretext of wanting to secure some finances, he goes to Bangladesh, East Bengal. And there, as he goes there, even then he was doing Harinam Sankirtan. He didn't get initiated yet. But since the reason for his advent is Nam Sankirtana, it was already, traces of that was already happening. So in the pretext of going to, in the pretext of securing finances, on his way to Bangladesh, East Bengal, and in East Bengal, he was doing Sankirtan. Dear devotees, the Lord, when he was adventing on the day of full moon lunar eclipse, he made everybody chant Hari, Hari, Krishna, Krishna. And when he was a little boy, he had no reason to cry, but he used to cry. And only when all the ladies around, mothers around would chant Hari, Hari, then he would stop crying. So in this way, he was inducing everybody to chant for some reason or other. And now he's continuing this here. In the pretext of securing finances, he went to East Bengal and he was chanting and he was making chant everybody Hari, Hari in East Bengal, Bangladesh. There, Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra was in the search of, absolute truth. And he was trying to read a lot. One day, a Brahmana comes in his, a demigod comes in his dream and then says, you should go. Now, a Brahmana from Nadia came here and you should go and inquire him about the purpose of your life, about the essence of Shastra. Then Tapan Mishra, he comes to Gaurahari. And then he places his inquiry. He offers his pranams and places his inquiry. He says, Bahu Shastre Bahu Vake Chitte Brahmahaya Satya Sadhana Sreshta Nahaya Nischaya. Tapan Mishra is saying, I have read so much of Shastra, Bahu Shastra, and Bahu Vakya, many commentaries. I have read it all the Shastra and their commentaries also. And what happened to me? Did he get enlightened? Dear devotees, this is very much pertaining to us also. Tapan Mishra was saying, I read so many Shastras, not only Shastras, but their commentaries also. And the resultant thing was, Chitte Brahmahaya. I got lost. Nothing went into my head. I had no clue of what I read, and I couldn't draw any conclusion. Sadhya sadhana sreshta nahaya nischaya. After reading all the Shastras, not only Shastras, but their commentaries also from Acharyas, I could not even ascertain what is sadhya, what is sadhana. The goal and purpose of the life, I could not ascertain. So a Brahmana came in the dream, a demigod came in the dream, and he directed me to you. Would you please teach me? Then Gaurahari teaches what is sadhya, sadhana, about sadhya and sadhana. Lord instructs how all the Shastra actually gives us three things: sadhya, sadhana, and sambandha, right? Sambandha videya prayojana. How these are taught. So Gaurahari teaches Tapan Mishra, and then he says, okay. And Tapan Mishra, he because he's enlightened now, Gaurahari imparted the knowledge. So he wants to be with Gaurahari, and he says, I'll come to Navadvipa with you. Gaurahari says, no, I think you should go to Varanasi. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I don't know why the Lord said like that. Tapan Mishra really wanted to be with the Lord. But the Lord said, Tapan Mishra should go to Varanasi. Who knows what Lord desires? I cannot fathom, says Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. In this way, Tapan Mishra is sent to Varanasi. And by this time, while he's in Bengal, East Bengal, Bangladesh, the Lord senses something. Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Priya, his consort that is there in Navadvip with his mother, the Lord came to know that she left her body. It is said that Lakshmi Devi was bit by serpent of separation since her husband came to Bangladesh. But what happened was a snake bit Lakshmi Devi. So she left her body. But Lord Chaitanya, Gaurahari, he knew that while he was in Bangladesh. So then he knew that he had to return. And his mother is left alone there. So he comes back. He comes back to Navadvip. To console his mother. And after some days, in those days, this marriage system, since the first wife died, then Vishnu Priya, Lord, marries his eternal consort again, like Narayana, Sri Devi, Bhudevi, the two consorts. Like that, Lord marries Vishnu Priya now. Yeah, so this is the marriage between Gaurahari and Vishnu Priya. Again, this is Kaishora age, that is before 15 years. After marrying Vishnu Priya, then comes this Lila. Keshava Kashmiri, the Lila with Keshava Kashmiri. Here, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that how the Lord had both Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, the Vishnu Priya, and Saraswati Devi also worshipping Lord Chaitanya. In other words, he was so scholarly. Not in other words, Saraswati Devi was worshipping the Lord. That's all. So, in this way, the Lord was opulent, both with wealth and the knowledge. That's when this Leela happens. As usual, our Gaurahari, Nimai. He was sitting with his students on the bank of Ganges, and there comes Keshav Kashmiri. And as we just heard, Nimai recognizes him and says, "Oh, you are Keshav Kashmiri, Digvijaya. You won everybody in the debate. So honored to see you, yeah." And then Keshav Kashmiri looks at Nimai and see, Nimai was paying respects and he was expressing his adoration, awe and adoration. But Keshav Kashmiri, he was inconsiderate. He says, "Oh, okay, you, huh? I have heard about you. You boy. Vyakarna, huh? You have a school and you're teaching your students, your little boy. You're teaching Vyakaran, huh? Means you know only one Anga. In Vedangas, Vyakaran is just that, just a basic of it. And here I am, Digvijaya." So with that attitude, he was inconsiderate and it a little insulting to Gaurahari, to Nimai, the Nimai who was teaching grammar, Vyakaran there. So then Nimai understood, Keshav Kashmiri, you look like you are puffed up. So then, you know, the ways of Nimai. He doesn't say anything like that. So what Nimai does is, "Oh yes, you are right. I'm just mere a little boy. And you know, I don't know what kind of grammar I'm teaching. My students, these are my students, but they don't even they don't understand my teaching of grammar. I'm just mere boy. But I heard you are a great scholar, huh? You are a Digvijaya, huh? You have conquered everybody in the debates. Can I ask you something? You are such a great scholar. Would you compose some shlokas on Mother Ganga, glorification of Mother Ganga?" And Nimai says that. And Digvijay Keshav Kashmiri looks at Nimai and he thinks, "Oh, what? This is a piece of cake, huh? This is nothing for me." But he was really like that. Within 1 hour, Keshav Kashmiri, on the spot, he composed 100 verses in the glorification of Mother Ganga. It means he didn't even take 1 minute to compose one verse, composing verse in Sanskrit. So he was really a Digvijay. He composed all of them and then he starts reciting all those 100 verses non-stop. Blah, 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 blah. They're not blah, blah, blah. They're beautiful verses. But he recites all of them. Nimai hears all of them and then says, "Whoa, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What a great poetry. Such great poetry. So great is your poetry that only you can understand. I can't understand a bit." He says that. And then, "Only you can understand your poetry. Such is the greatness of your poetry. So I have a question. Um, can you say something about this verse where you said Bhavani Bhartur, that particular verse?" Then this Digvijay Pandit Keshav Kashmiri, he was surprised. He was almost shocked. He said, "I have composed this on the spot and like a blowing wind, I have recited everything. It is even difficult for anybody to even understand. You not only understood it, you remembered it, and you are picking out this particular verse and you have recited it. How is this possible?" Then he says, "Oh, some men are endowed, they can, they can compose very easily, and some can remember very easily. So it is just, it's just the Lord gives us, that's something that's given by the Lord. He's reminding. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is reminding. Don't think what you have just done is because of your greatness. It's just a gift for you from the Lord. So he says that. So, yeah, so he picks up that verse. Then he says, this Digvijay Pandit says, okay, you said Bhavani Bhartu, right? Do you remember that shloka? Do you know what it is? And then Gaurahari recites the whole thing. Mahatvam Gangaya Satatam Idam Abhati Nitaram Yadesha Shri Vishnu's Charana Kamalotpatti Subhagam Dvitiya Shri Lakshmir Ivasuranarair Archyacharana Bhavani Bharturiya Shirasi Vibhavati Adbhuta Guna. He recites the sloka and then says, there are five alankaras in here and 5 falls in here. So can you point out, first of all, he says, do you know that there are, can you enumerate the alankaras and falls in here? Then Keshav Bharati says, there can only be alankaras here. In my poetry, there cannot be any falls. Then Gaurahari, after reciting this, he dissects each one and he points out those 5 alankaras, literary ornaments, and 5 falls in that. And after pointing out the falls, Gaurahari says one more punch statement. See, I just took only one verse out of 100 verses you have recited. And in that, I'm just giving you a little brief view of 5 alankaras and 5 falls. But if we go a little more in depth in that same verse, there can be innumerable falls coming out. With that, when Keshav Kashmiri heard that, he was blown off. He was thinking, what is happening to me? Here is a little boy just teaching only Vyakaran. He could remember what I said, all the verses, and now he's able to say the false. And not only that, he's saying he could find more false just in one verse. So he was feeling so bad. And all the students around, they started laughing. Then Gaurahari thought, no, this is enough. He calmed the students. He warned the students not to laugh. And he was giving a little encouragement to Digvijay now. He says, no, you know what? False can be there. False can be there. Even in Chandida's poetry also. So, but when the meaning is intact, it is okay. And also, it is not easy to put those many verses together and recite, and you did it. And of course, I'm just a boy and I'm just learning Vyakaran, and I really want to learn more from you. So do you think you can teach a little more and you can teach me more tomorrow? Can we meet here tomorrow? Gaurahari, he says that he didn't wanted that Pandita to be humiliated. The Lord did only what is required to bring him out of his puffed up nature. And after he started feeling bad, Lord didn't want to humiliate him anymore. So that's the beautiful ways of Gaurahari. So he already won the heart of Digvijay, right? And we know what happened after that. That night he goes and he does the Saraswati Puja, and Mother Saraswati says, of course that Gaurahari is my Lord, and of course he is going to be a Lord. So just go, fall at his feet, and beg apologies for your words and nature, and then you will be delivered. So like that. And then next day, of course, Keshav Kashmiri goes there, and then he becomes a devotee too. That's the end of Kaishora Lila. Now comes Yavana, that's past 16 years. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Vande Svairatputeham tam Chaitanyam Yat Prasadataha Yavanaha Sumanayante Krishnanama Prajalpakaha. Kaviraja is saying, I take shelter of that, Lord Chaitanya. Vande Swaira Adbhuteham tam. I offer my respects to this magnanimous Lord Chaitanya, Yat Prasadataha, with whose mercy Yavana Sumanayante. All these Yavanas, Malechas, meat eaters, they become perfect gentlemen. How? Krishna Nama Prajalpakaha, by taking Harinam. So to this giver of Harinam, to Chaitanya Devam, I offer my respects. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Now, youthful splendor. This is, he's now not, until Pauganda age, he was sometimes Nimai, sometimes Gaurahari, but now he is completely Gaurahari, because all he sings is Hari, Hari, and he's in splendor, golden color, so he's Gaurahari. Here, and quick enumeration of pastimes. I don't want to use this word quick because it's the only opportunity for us. Wonderful pastimes we'll hear one after the other. So Gaurahari, the first thing was after the Keshav Kashmiri thing, he goes to Gaya. He goes to Gaya Gamana Lila happens here, dear devotees. Gaya Gamana Lila. You know, in the pretext of offering Pinda to his father, he goes to Gaya. Why? Because he has to receive mantra from Ishwarpuri, whom he's giving a chance to be his spiritual master. That happens in Gaya. So, Nimai goes to Gaya and receives the mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Packed with love of Godhead. He receives that in Gaya and comes back now to Navadvip. In Chaitanya Bhagavata, it is so beautifully described. When he went to Gaya, he was like, the scholarly Nimai, apparently arrogant, and he would call the people for debate. He throws a topic and then he wins over the argument, and again he challenges the other person that he is going to defeat his own arguments. He wins the argument. It means he has won on the person who has defeated his argument. But he says, no, I will defeat my own arguments now. So he was like that, apparently very arrogant, like that, sweetly arrogant. So he walked like that to Gaya, but he returned to Navadvip singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Totally different person. Everybody is looking at each other in Navadvip. Where is that haughty Nimai? Who is he walking now singing? He seemed to be intoxicated. He seemed to be mad. What happened to him? What happened? Gaya Gamana Lila happened. He received the mantra. So after his return, he decides to give that love of Godhead to Mother Sachi. but she offended Advaitacharya in her thought and in his word. And the offense was that, she um, in quotes, accused Advaitacharya and also Haridas Thakura um, as being responsible for his older son to take sannyasa. And she was not happy that his older son took sannyasa. So in grief, that's what she said. It's because of you, my older son left our home, like that. But even that was an offense. So Gaura Hari, when he returns, he says, Ma, I want to give you love of Godhead. Even though you are my mother, Vaishnava Parada cannot be forgiven. And that can be forgiven only when you go to the Vaishnava and begs their forgiveness. Until that happens, I cannot give you love of Godhead. So please go ahead, ask for forgiveness from Advaitacharya. Mother Sachi comes there. Advaitacharya touches the feet of Mother Sachi. She says, no, please. But in any case, Sachi Mata asks for forgiveness, and then she's bestowed love of Godhead. Whoa. Gaurahari is very particular about not causing any aparadha to Vaishnavas, for him to give love of Godhead, even to his mother. And after that, Gaurahari showed universal form to Advaitacharya, and his opulent form to Srivas Thakura, and his Shadbhuja, Chaturbhuja, and Dvibhuja form to Lord Nityananda. And there was a Vyasa Puja going on, and in that Nityanandaram was there. And in that moment, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he carried Mushala, that is Haladara, and he was in the mood of Balaram. That's one thing, dear devotees. The Lord is relishing many rasas within himself. Sometimes Narasimha, sometimes Vamanadeva, sometimes Balarama, like that. Many rasas. And after that, when Nitai came to Nimai, Gaurahari's home, both of them, they showed their rupa as Krishna and Balaram to Mother Sachi. And later, after a few days, the famous, merciful, the most merciful pastimes, deliverance of Jagai and Madai, that happened. And Mahaprakash Lila, where the Lord sat in one posture without moving 21 hours and called everybody around to come as the boon they want. Very beautifully described in Chaitanya Bhagavata. Even Pundarika Vidyanidhi, somebody ran to his house also and said, come. Lord is showing his Mahaprakash Lila. Come, ask the boon you want. And Pundarika Vidyanidhi also comes there. He is a personification of our love of Godhead anyway, to start with. Like that, all the devotees, they get an opportunity to beg something that they want. That is Mahaprakash Lila for 21 hours. That happened during this stage, past 16 years. Sometimes the Lord was in Varaha Avesha. When he was like that in the mood of Varahadeva, he climbed on Murari Gupta and he danced. And sometimes he was in the Avesha of Narsimhadeva. One time, dear devotees, now, this is pastime with Shuklambara Brahmachari. We are emphasizing this here. Here, Shuklambara Brahmachari, a very great devotee, he used to beg alms, but the Lord wanted to eat his rice only. So, he honors the rice of Shuklambara Brahmachari, and that's where he explains the glories of the Harinama. Harirnama, Harirnama, Harirnama eva kevalam. Kalau na astiyeva na astiyeva na astiyeva gatiranyada. 3 times major emphasis, 9th time total emphasis on Harinama is the only way in this Kali Yuga. And how to do the Harinama? Trinadapi sunichenam tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. When one is Trinadapi shunichena. Shunichena, nichata means seeing oneself, actually, humility. Humility is seeing the reality. Sunichena. What is the reality? The reality is that I am full of faults. I am full of faults. Seeing that reality. That is humility. Nichena. Seeing how low I am, how faulty I am. Taroreva sahishnuna. Sahishnuta is tolerance. Tolerating everything that comes upon us in our way as our own, as a result, as something, as a result of our own misdeeds. Sahishnana. Amanina manadena. Amanatvam. Not expecting mana, respect from anybody. Manadena. Offering all respects to everybody. Only in this mood, somebody can chant always. Kirtaniya sada hari. Sir, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, raising my hands, I declare to continuously remember this verse. Make a necklace out of this verse. The beads are Trinadapi, Suni, Chena, Taro, Reva, Sahishnuna, Ama, Nina, Manadena. And the thread is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let these neck beads be upon you at all times. So you chant Hare Krishna with the beads of Trinadapi Sunichena Taroreva Sahishnana Amanina Manadena. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that. So the glories of the Harinam are spoken there. Then somebody who was there hearing the glories of the Harinama, he expressed that, I hear the glories of the Harinam, but maybe there is a little atisayokti there. Maybe the glories are a little exaggerated. He just expresses that, and the Lord, Gaur Hari, goes, Hari, 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 and he runs to the Ganges and jumps in the Ganges. Well, he couldn't hear anything spoken like that about Harinam. Harinam is so glorious, how could one even say that there is alankar there, atisayokti there? So, in those days, if you touch anybody, untouchables are muchi, anything dirty, you just go shower, right? You have to go cleanse yourself like that. So that's why the Lord ran to the Ganges and then jumped into the Ganges. What would he do? He has incarnated here to spread the glories of the Nama. And here somebody says, maybe the Nama is not that powerful. Lord in this incarnation cannot slap people, cannot kill people. That's why he's going and jumping in the Ganges. There was one instant where he wanted to punish Advaitacharya. He was, in general, it should be angry. He was so angry, but the angry of Gaurachandra is expressed as he was so sad. When somebody is angry with anyone, they would slap on the face, right? But Gaurachandra, when he's so angry, he's hurt. He's hurt and he goes away from that person. He did the same to Advaitacharya. He did not yell at Advaitacharya. He was so hurt that he goes away, and Advaitacharya has to beg. Everybody had to go and beg him to please come back. Those are the ways of Gaurahari. So, yeah, because he couldn't slap that person who thought the glory of the holy name was exaggeration. So he went and jumped in the Ganges to cleanse himself. And of course, Nityananda Ram and the devotees went there and he brought him out of the Ganges. And then on the bank of Ganges, the Lord speaks about the glories of devotional service. Like that. And the next one is Gopal Chapla. Yeah. You know the Shiva Sangan, the pastimes used to happen in the night. So there was people that were envy and on Shiva's Thakur, because he was becoming famous. Because in his house the nightly kirtans were happening. So one of them, Gopal Chapla, he put this black magic paraphernalia in front of his house to defame him, to make him known as a Kali Bhakta. But next day morning, when Srivas Thakur came outside, he saw the paraphernalia. He didn't make any effort. He didn't make any effort to see that his reputation is intact. They don't care about the reputation, first of all. But what he did was, he called everybody, the neighbors, and see, this is the kind of worship I'm doing, the black magic worship thing. That's the kind of person I am, you know? Srivas Thakur. It's true, dear devotees. These great devotees, they are too far from recognition. They don't want it. But it's not a wonder that they want to defame themselves. It's not a wonder. Because they want to hide and disguise and they want to be in their own bhajan. And they don't want to be in the limelight recognition. So it's not an unusual thing that they want to defame themselves. But who would believe them? So neighbors did not believe that. And of course, they took all that paraphernalia, swept it away. Gopal Chapla, for what he has done, he was affected with leprosy. His skin was burning. Worms were eating up his flesh. Gopal Chapla. And then he went to, not immediately, he was there like that for many years. But after Lord Chaitanya comes back to the same place again, then he goes to Lord Chaitanya and says, can you please get me rid of this leprosy? And then Lord was so angry. I actually curse you to stay in this leprosy, to stay in this abominable state for millions of years. How dare you try to insult my devotee? Again, the Lord is really angry. When something happens with the devotee, he's really angry. When something happens to him, he wouldn't slap anyone. But when something happens to his devotees, wow, his curses are big. So he curses like that. For many years you suffer with this leprosy. He goes, no, please. Tell me something. How can I get rid of it? Then you should go to Srivas Thakur. You should ask him forgiveness. Then of course, Gopal Chapla goes there, asks for forgiveness, and then his leprosy is cured. Like that. That is there, dear devotees. You know the envy thing. Leprosy is just eating the skin and flesh. Envy eats us inside like that. When we think, oh, leprosy, his flesh is being eaten. But envy is like that inside. It eats us inside. So only when the envy is gone from the Gopal Chapla, when he asked for forgiveness, his envy was gone. And that's how his leprosy was also cured. Yeah, like that. And finally, we are coming to the end of the pastimes. Yeah, Murari Gupta, the famous Rama Bhakta. On his forehead, the Lord wrote Ramadasa. He was greatly appreciating his devotion to Lord Ram. The other day we heard, right? The Lord. And depending upon a devotee's interest and how they want to worship Lord, the Lord just presents himself like that in that particular mood. So Murari Gupta, on his forehead, he wrote, Lord wrote on the forehead of Murari Gupta, Ramadasa. But same Venkat Bhatta, he could take up Krishna Bhakti. But Murari Gupta was very deep-rooted and he couldn't give up his worshipable deity in the form of Rama. So he became Ramadasa. Next one, Sridhara. Okay, we have come to the end, almost done. Sridhara, Kolavecha Sridhara. And dear devotees, very beautiful pastime. You know, those days to wash the feet, there used to be these iron pots at the doorstep. So the people can wash their feet and then come inside. Lord Gaurachandra was so much impressed by the devotion of Kolavecha Sridhara. He goes there and he drinks the water from the damaged iron pot. The water that is used to wash the feet of everyone, the Lord goes and drinks that water. When Kolavecha Sridhar, when he sees that, he almost falls unconscious. How much the Lord, what place the Lord gives for the devotion, for the devotees. Very wonderful ways of the Lord. Yeah, so that is about drinking water from Sridhara's pot. And the last Lila coming here. Yeah. Now, Chandkazi Lila. Wanted to give it the description of it, but we don't have too much time. So I just have to say Chandkazi Lila. But it was a beautiful, beautiful Lila. You know, the Sankirtan is going on everywhere. Chandkazi comes and breaks the drum. And next day, Gaurachandra says, no, everybody do the Sankirtan. I will see who will stop this. And then the whole Sankirtan party goes to Chandkazi. You know how the Lord calls Chandkazi? I am a guest here. I'm like a guest here. Why are you going and hiding? The whole Sankirtan, the whole village is there, whole town is there with the torches behind. And here are these words. I am like your guest. Why are you going and hiding? And then the questions go on. Okay, my dear maternal uncle, why are you killing the cows? Okay, my dear maternal uncle, can you tell me why the Sankirtan is not stopped now? And then, of course, Chandkazi tells how Narasimhadev came in his dream, and then that's why he didn't dare to stop the Kirtan like that. Very wonderful pastime. Especially how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu treats everybody. He really wins the hearts. The Lord really wins the hearts. These words of Chandkazi at the end, he says, why are you, when the Lord asked, why are you not stopping Sankirtan? Then Chandkazi tells everything about Narasimhadev, and finally he says, you know what? Can I tell you something that's there in my heart? You actually look like Lord Narayana himself. You are so effulgent. These are the words of Kazi to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he says, see these, why do, okay, the Hindus, they chant Hari Hari, but why are you Muslims chanting Hari Hari? Then Nawab says, you know, just to mock, as a mocking, Muslims are also chanting. When the Hindus chant Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, then the Muslims are also chanting Hare Krishna, Hari Hari. So then Gaurahari says, your life, dhanya ho gaya. Your life has become successful. You said Narayana, you said Hari, you said Krishna. I am bestowing your mercy upon you. And then Kazi becomes a devotee. And he says, all I need is your lotus feet. Tomara prasade mora, guchila kumati, ei kripa kare yena tomara rahu bhakti. All I need is devotion unto you, O Gaurahari, says Chand Kazi. So these are the ways how the Lord wins the debates and wins the hearts of the people. And one pastime. Lord Srivasa's son passes away in the middle of the kirtan. And then Srivas Thakur says, no, nobody should go. Tell this to the Lord. Sankirtan shouldn't be disturbed. And then Lord knows about it. He brings back the dead son to life, and the dead son, he speaks some philosophy. And Srivas Thakur and his wife Malini Devi, then after hearing those words from the son, that philosophical words from the son, then their grief is gone. And of course, that son passes away. And since then, Gaura and Nitai become the sons of Malini Mata. They're like that. And one day, the Lord was very much in the mood of gopis. So he was just calling out Gopi, Gopi, Radhe, Radhe. And one of the students, he said, why are you calling Gopi, Gopi? Yeah, he calls Gopi, Radhe. Then the student asked, we should be calling out to Krishna, Hari. And you are calling out Gopi? Then the Lord, in his own mood, he's in the Gopi Bhava. So he says, what's wrong in calling Gopi? That Krishna, that Devachi, how can he be God? So he was speaking the language of Gopi. That student did not understand. And all the students and rest of the students, they started blaspheming the Lord, which is not good for them. So the Lord was feeling sorry for them. He didn't wanted them to go to hell. So that's why, in order for everybody to bow down to him, he decided to take up sannyasa in the best interest of all. He chooses to take sannyasa. That's one reason. But Kaviraj Goswami says, we know why he wants to become a sannyasi now. So the three internal reasons that he had: to relish the sweetness of Krishna, to understand the glory of bhakti, and to relish the ecstasy of devotional service. In order to relish all this, the Lord decided to take sannyasa. And he describes how Krishna is so much sweeter. The form of Krishna is so much sweeter than Narayana, that the gopis were looking for Krishna, though they had darshan of Narayana. And how great is the devotion of Radharani, that Krishna could not hide himself in the form of Narayana and had to give up two hands and present himself in his original form as Krishna, like that. So the Lord decided to take sannyasa. Dihan Shyama Vamshi Mukam Gopavi Lasi Gihan Gaura Kaubudvija Kaubuta Sannyasi. In this way, Gaura Hari has become Krishna Chaitanya. This is the whole Adi Lila, dear devotees. Actually, we have heard the whole Chaitanya Bhagavata. Because Chaitanya Bhagavata is detailed description of pastimes up until sannyasa. So we have completed Chaitanya Bhagavata just in this class, in this session, Adi Lila. So I will not enumerate all the Leelas now. But what we heard today is the Adi Leela of the Lord. And in Adi Leela, we have heard about Balya Leela, Pauganda Leela, Kaishora Leela, and Yavana. How the Leelas are something that the Lord chooses to perform, unlike the karmas where jivas are forced to do. Yeah. So, yeah, we have heard Leelas of all this. So tempted to enumerate, but all of them we have heard them. So that's all, the devotees. We'll pause here. Thank you all so very much. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tanvat Pranam.
Pranams to you, Mataji. You woke up. You recovered.
No, Mataji. Thank you so much. Very nicely summarized the entire Adi Leela. I don't know how you did it in 1.5 hours, Mataji. We are still relishing, and actually, I was looking forward to hear more. Very nice narration, Mataji, of all the Leelas. We've read this before.